first 45 minutes of the day, I was paying the cost to be the boss. Now the last hour or so, let's just say I was paying the cost. I'll let you know what's going on out here. We'll take a look at a few pictures. I'll drop these girls back in the water and we'll get into the report. Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. You're watching In Deep on the Delta. This is the weekly report for August 21st. And I've got some good news for you striper guys, so you're going to want to stay around, but we'll start off with a little river business. Number one, I want to thank everybody that was out to the Outdoor Sportsman Outdoor Expo this last weekend, last Saturday, especially all you guys that stopped by and talked to Adrian and I out at the CNC bait booth. It was a great event, well attended. Everybody seemed to have a lot of fun. Lockford Sausage was out there. They had some great food, lots of good deals. And I want to use this time to not only thank Outdoor Sportsman for putting the expo on, but just a reminder, whether it's the Bass Hole, Outdoor Sportsman, who they are locally owned for the last 30 years here in Stockton. You got Central Valley Bait and Tackle. I think they're still called Central Valley Bait and Tackle in Modesto. You got Fisherman's Warehouse, Manteca, Sacramento. All of our local bait shops, make sure you support them. It's important that we get out and get into those shops and support them. We have the Crappie Closet Tournament coming up in September. September 13th, the Crappie Closet Crappie Tournament will be coming up. And I'll tell you,
Tournament coming up.
I've been catching a lot more crappie on the Delta recently. I've been getting reports, I've been getting pictures from guys. The crappie fishing is really picking up out here. I had some reports a week or so ago where they were picking up 15 and 20 fish a day out in the track. I don't know where they were, but the crappie are seeming to make a comeback here. So we got the Crappie Closet Tournament and Family Fun Day. That's going to be out at Holland Riverside Marina, September 13th. I'm going to do my best to be out there. There's going to be live entertainment, food trucks. They're going to have a panfish derby. I think it's for the kids, family-oriented thing. You know, it's going to be a lot of fun. You can check that out, and hopefully we will see you guys out there. Let's talk about some good news. I have a couple of young anglers, I'm not going to call them junior anglers, young anglers, and they both deserve a huge shout out for catching what could be the fish of their life. Number one, Noah. Check out Noah here with this absolute monster. I don't know what that thing weighed, but if it was any bigger, I don't know if you'd be out there in the back of the boat holding it up. So congratulations to Noah. Also, Parker. He's got a fish here, and you can see their scale was not working. Parker is the defending TBF Junior State Champ. Now you know why. Landed another just monster toad. I've got a little video of Parker here releasing that fish and telling you how he caught it. We're going to check that out, then we'll get back.
Mega Bass Mag Draft Freestyle with the 6/0 owner beast hook.
Dude. All right, let's see the release.
Yes, sir. All right. Woo! Oh my God.
New PB.
All right, thanks, Parker. Thanks for sharing that with us, and I'm glad you got that fish right back in the water. You released it. It looked like it was in good shape. Great job. Let's talk about stripers a little bit. If you've been out on the Delta, you've noticed that last week I was saying we're starting to see more and more sea lions. As soon as I said that, literally the next couple of days, I saw sea lion in Mildred. I saw sea lion in here, there, everywhere. They seem to be all over. They just showed up. And as they showed up, people started sending me information on catching stripers. Not a lot of them. They're not in the Central Delta in big numbers right now. But I talked to my buddy Bryce Tedford. He sent me a few pictures. Bryce is a guide out here. He is a fly fishing guide. I will be going out with Bryce tomorrow, or which will be Thursday, and we're going to do a little fly fishing for the stripers. I'll let this guy run by here a little bit. I'll try to talk over him. We're going to do a little striper fishing, and I will have a dedicated day to fly fishing for stripers with Bryce. We'll see how that goes. I'll give you a report on what's happening there next week. Joey Price, he has been talking about being out west. Joey Price from Priceless Fishing, you guys know who Joey is, a local guide. He has just been killing it. I've got some bass pictures that will be running through of his clients in the last week, and he has been catching not great numbers of stripers, but they're starting to show up, and he's getting decent numbers of fish. He's fishing out west. He's going to start really concentrating on maybe locating where these fish aren't, doing a little more guiding for stripers this year, but we're talking about big break out that way and west. So the stripers are starting to move in from the bay into the West Delta. They're going to be here in a week or two, so right now I don't have a lot to report on people catching them, but catching a lot of fish in the central area, but they're here. They're going to be here real quick, so keep an eye on the reports for more when it comes to striper fishing. Before we actually get into the Delta largemouth scene, I do want to talk a little bit about the mother lode and Clear Lake. Number one, the last few weeks, and I do get a lot of reports from the mother lode, just kind of incidental things. Hey, you know, I got off the Delta, so on and so forth. A lot of the lakes are dropping, and that has seemed to put a big kibosh on some of the lakes that were fishing good. I know Maloney's was fishing really good. I've got several reports since the lake dropped. It's not fishing so well. I know Pedro is not doing great as of the last maybe 3 or 4 weeks. A lot of pressure out at Pedro. I hear a lot of water skiing, and a lot of people are just kind of getting off of Pedro. As we know, Comanche is still closed. I haven't got a lot of reports from Berryessa, and Pardee is still closed. I called Clear Lake. Clear Lake is still fishing well. I talked to Dave out at Clear Lake Outdoors, and he has said that the weather has been inconsistent, so there's a lot of wind in the afternoon. If you want to go up there, you want to fish early. The main bait they've been catching fish on is chatterbait. Get out before the wind starts, get your fun in, and you'll have a good time. He also said even though the lake is in much better shape than it usually is this time of year, it's starting to kind of get the algae blooms and stuff that we're all familiar with out at Clear Lake. He said probably stay away from the south end of the lake, you know, the red bud and in there. The northern end of the lake is fishing a little bit better. I would give them a call before you go up there just to make sure everything is cool and the fishing's good up there. So let's talk about the Delta largemouth bass, and we'll go over a few tournaments, and I'm going to go over them real fast just to kind of give you guys an idea of what's been going on out here. Last week's Wednesday nighter, I think they had four bags over 20 pounds. So that was a very good, and I think the top bag was about 21 pounds, something right in there, but 4 bags over 20 pounds. I know Caleb said that a lot of guys didn't weigh in, which is meaning they didn't have a whole lot, or they just didn't catch any fish. So it was tough for a lot of the guys. I think they had 45 boats. I will say Joey Price and Tanner, they won the American Bass Tournament out here, and they had, I think, 21 and some change. Got a picture of those guys up there. They had a good day. The Delta Bass Club was out last week. I think they had 14 boats, and I think, I'm trying to look here, about 15 pounds won that tournament. Not bad. The Bass Hole was out Saturday. They had a high roller and a low roller. I think 45 boats in the low, or 25 in the low roller, and 11 boats in the high roller. Both the high roller and the low roller had 16.7 pounds to win. So you're seeing kind of not great weights out here, but we are seeing more consistent. I think the 11 boats in the high rollers for the Bass Hole, I think they had 3 bags over 15. I think the low rollers had 3 or 4 bags in that 14 or 15 pound range. I think the Wednesday night tournament had an 8-2 big fish, a 7-9 second big fish, a lot of big fish coming in. A lot of the females are starting to recover and they're starting to move, but you know, that's catching one fish, one big fish. It's hard to get 3, 4, 5 of those big fish. Let's talk about the Mike Vaughn Classic. 91 boats on that, and that was a 3 fish limit. And there's, pardon me, but I forget who won the thing. They had, I think, a 17 or 18 pound bag for 3 fish. And somebody said they had a 7 and an 8, and somebody said it was a 6 and a 7. Whatever it was, 17, 18, 16 pounds. They had a heck of a bag to win that. And for a 3 fish, 6 hour tournament, if it had been an 8 hour tournament, they're on their way to a 25, 30 pound bag. So, you know, great for you guys. Like I said, the tournament was a great success, 91 boats. I fished the tournament. Ted and I ended up, I think, 16th out of 91. And I need to thank my buddy Cameron Cardoza for knocking us out of the money. We had, I think, 9 and some change. All of our fish were 3 pound fish. 3 pound, 2 ounce maybe would have been the biggest fish. You know, and then I think a 2.9 or something. We caught a lot of fish. We just couldn't get the big bite. And that's what a lot of people were talking about. There was a big log jam between about, I'll say 6 and 9 pounds. I think it took, I think top prize or top weight was at, we'll call it 17, 18. I think Adrian had second place from CC Bates, and I think he had 15. And I think Juan Juan was out there, and they got, I think they had right around 15 too. So 3 really good bags, and then everything kind of fell off. A lot of guys didn't weigh in, and again, probably, you know, 3 fish limit. If you didn't have, you know, at least 2 pound fish, you probably didn't weigh in. But everybody had a good time. It was a lot of fun. What have I been doing? What have I been seeing going on? I was out this morning, and the first, oh, by the way, in the Mike Vaughn tournament, Ted and I stayed very local. We fished within 5 miles of lads, caught all our fish in one place. We went out and had 9 pounds in the morning, all on small topwater baits. We made, what we wanted to do is make a run, another local run, but we wanted to stop and fish 3 or 4 areas. We wanted to look at Disappointment, 14 Mile, places like that, Whites. And you know what? I bet we didn't fish 15 minutes in our milk run. Just, you know, too much traffic. Water was not in good shape. We went right back to where we caught the fish in the morning, and we were able to call several fish in that 3 pound range that, you know, we were calling an ounce at a time. Didn't catch a lot of small fish. We probably caught 15 fish, and it was a good day. It was a fun day for us. We just didn't get that big bite. And all of our fish were on a lot of them were on this small Rico, what I've been talking about. And we're going to talk about that a little bit, because I want everybody to start, if you're out to have fun, to start fishing these smaller baits. We'll talk about that in just a minute. I was out this morning. Again, I've got a lot of stuff going on. I'm going to get to go out to the Vista del Lago High School Club tonight, so I only had a few hours to put in out here this morning. Started out great. My first cast, the pictures, the video, the intro video, that one that I had, I don't know what it was, 3.5, 4 pounds, caught that on the very first cast, threw it in, popped it one time, bam, I caught that fish. For about 45 minutes, the fishing was good. I caught several fish in that 2.5 to 3.25, but the fish were on, and they were on the small baits. I threw, you know, I can show you what I got. I'm just going to tell you. I threw bigger baits. I wanted to get that big bite. I just couldn't get them to come up. They bit for about 45 minutes, all good fish. I caught a couple of dinks. As soon as I started catching dinks, about 45 minutes into the day, they just quit, and literally I had to wade through 10 dinks to pick up a 2 pound fish. Now here's what I want to talk about. With this small Rico or any small popper, and this is about a 2-inch popper, I have been using the standard hooks on it. Ricos have a pretty good hook. They're sharp. You don't need you can set hook real easy with a spinning rod. And those fish that I showed you in the morning, I flipped those fish in the boat with this little bait. Now, what I want to say is, if you're not, and I don't change out the bait, the hooks right off of the, right out of the bat. I use the Rico hooks. But as soon as these light wire hooks, if you get bent, and a couple of these are bent, you really can't fish them. You got to get those hooks off and put on a heavier hook. And actually, if you're fishing tournaments or you don't want to lose a big fish, you probably should change the hooks out. Whether it's a Rico, a Popar, a Bubble Walker, whatever you're using, think about changing out those hooks. The other thing I'll talk about is, you see this is a bare hook on the back. I've got one out of the box here. You'll see that this one, they come with a feather treble on the back. When the fishing is good, they don't care. They're going to eat this every time. And man, look at this. I've been using this one for a couple weeks, and it is, I don't know how many fish I've caught on this. It's just been a blast fishing these smaller poppers. But when the fishing gets tough, I think you do much better when you have a feather treble on the back. So if you replace them, put a feather treble on the back. And what happened this morning when the bite started to die, you had to be within 6 inches of shade, tule, rock, whatever you were fishing, and you had to slow down. And I think when I slowed down, I generally do better with the feather. Pop, leave it set, pop, leave it set. As they're coming up, I think the fish that are looking at it come up and you know, see that feather moving around. It has a little more attraction. I have a video. I lost a big one late in the day when I was kind of calling through the small ones, and that's what I was doing. Hopefully I'll have that video up playing while I'm talking about this. Didn't get to see him, but I think that was another 4-pound fish or something. It came on this little Rico. I was also going to say that my fishing, most of the good fishing for me has been coming off of rock banks. I did try points and Tule Islands, and they just weren't producing. I'm going to stick to rock banks. The guys that are winning tournaments out here, I'm getting a lot more guys that are punching. Guys have been frogging for the last few weeks, and although during the frog tournaments the frogging was just so-so, I think the frogging is coming on, and I know the punching is getting is coming on. A lot of guys are talking about punching, and they're catching fish punching. What that's telling you, we're getting into late summer. If you can find surface vegetation, I talked to Rob about this, and I asked him, you know, what kind of stuff has he been punching? What's he looking for? There's not a lot of it out here. Not a lot of the surface vegetation, or as much as there has been in the past. If you find anything, whether it's hyacinth, whether it's you know, down tules, whether it's duckweed, if you can punch it, if it has surface vegetation, punch it. Punching is coming on. If you like to punch, you want to punch. You want to also throw chatterbaits out here. They've been picking up big fish. And also drop shots. Drop shotting, a lot of the worms that are kind of this morning dawn kind of margarita mutilator, ox blood, this is the color that a lot of people have been throwing, and they've been catching a lot of fish. All in all, you're going to have to wade through a lot of small fish in order to pick up those 3 and 4 pounders. If you get lucky, you will get a 5, 6, 7 pound fish, and those fish are getting more and more active. But unless you are really in tune with being in the right spot at the right time with the right baits, it's going to be difficult to put together a 5-fish limit of those fish that are 5, 6, 7 pounds. It's not 2002 out here on the Delta. This is 2025, whatever it is. It's not the same Delta. It's still a great place to fish, and there's still a lot of big fish out here. So with that, we are going to be coming into a better moon phase. We're going to be having better tides, and if you have the chance at all to get out on a weekday, please come out on a weekday. I think it is absolutely worth your while to come out very early or stay very late. In between there, you're going to have to really fish the tides and do everything you can to find wind, find clear water, get your baits very close to either surface vegetation, tules, rock, troughs, whatever. These fish are really pulling in tight to cover. So accurate casting, slowing down, and just staying on your best behavior. You know, like Bobby Barrick said a couple weeks, have your socks pulled up, have your shirt tucked in, make sure your leaders are good, make sure you've got scent on your worms and punch gear. Do whatever you can and everything you can to be ready for that big bite, because it could come at any time. So with that, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'm hoping next week I'm going to have a really good report for you. So good luck. We'll see you guys on the river.